Hi everyone. This is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here. It is great to be with you this evening, February 7th. If you are new to my channel, well, what are we doing? Every day, starting with the Saturday of the week, we actually have a brand new series, usually 7 days. And then on Friday, we end that. So tonight, we are talking about what gift will you share with the world? And if you are coming back, well, welcome back, my friends. It is so wonderful to have you back here because there's some great stuff that we're doing. And I think you're really going to enjoy the stuff we're talking about. So when we talk about things like, what's your gift? A lot of people say to me, John, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. And it's it could be a little daunting for some people because not knowing what your gift is can be, like I said, a little bit. It could be a little bit. It could be a little bit challenging. Okay, it could be a little bit challenging, and so what I want to share with you is that understanding what your gift is so very, very vital and so important. Okay. It is so very, very important. How important is it? Well, it's important because when you know what your gift is, you kind of have a little more of a value of what you're worth. Does that make sense, everybody? And so that might sound a little bit strange, but it's not, because if you know what you're worth, then you're able to do certain things, right? And so just understanding that, I think, will help people to realize that our truths lie, I should say, in our gifts. Okay. And so how do you figure out what your gift is? That's what a lot of people are asking, John, how the heck do we find out what our gift is? And you know, that can be a little bit challenging because when we think about our gift, we're not necessarily sure what it's going to mean, right? What it's going to stand for. And so, what I want to share with you is that knowing your gift, right? And when we talk about this whole thing about what basically what is your gift? The whole thing is what is your gift to the world? Okay, and so when I say that to you, you're probably saying, John, I have no freaking clue what my gift is. I don't even know what it is. I don't know where it is, and that's okay. But I think understanding that you have a gift, even if you don't know what the heck that gift is, at least you're going to be cognizant that you have a gift, and your reticular activating system, your body is going to start looking out for that gift. All right. Now, we said that a gift does not have to be something monetary, right? Something that you actually buy. In fact, a lot of times it's great to not have something that you buy, to have your gift be something that is pretty amazing, means that it's something you did from within. Now, gifts again are talents. Okay. So I want to go to Webster for a moment because this is probably the best place to give you the definition. Merriam-Webster.com, which you guys know that I use this an awful lot. And I'm going to look up the word talent. Okay. So talent is a noun. And I want to quote Merriam-Webster. Again, I'm very grateful for their resources online. It is a special, often athletic, creative, or artistic aptitude, general intelligence, or mental power, the natural endowments of a person of talent, or a group of persons of talent in a field or activity, any of several ancient units of weight, a unit of value equal to the value of a talent of gold or silver. Well, talents were like a type of money. So that's where that came from. 1 talent, 2 talent. We don't have that anymore. Archaic, a characteristic, feature, aptitude, or disposition of a person or animal. So when we talk about that and we talk about the word aptitude, right? What does Merriam-Webster say aptitude is? Well, that's a noun too. And that's an inclination or a tendency, a natural ability. Okay. So understanding that, now you can respect the fact that a talent, okay, or when we say, what their aptitude is, it's something unique to you. You probably do it better than anyone else. Get a little water here. And when we think about that aptitude, or we think about that characteristic we have, let's compare this to coffee. Now, I'm not a coffee drinker, but let's just think about coffee for a second, okay? I'm sure some of you drink coffee out there. So before I get into that, show me some love. Whether you're on John C. Morley's Facebook page, John C. Morley Serial Entrepreneur profile page, LinkedIn profile page, John C. Morley Serial Entrepreneur's YouTube page, and Twitter, Twitch, or Periscope. And I want to thank my team members for finally getting rid of those spammers. We actually got the information, and what we did is we contacted Google and these other places directly, and we reported their profile. It took a few times, but it looks like they have shut down their entire domain. So kudos to them, that subdomain. So spamming is definitely not something good. And so when we think about a characteristic. By the way, if you know what I'm talking about when I think about a characteristic, if you know what a characteristic of coffee is, go ahead and just give me a thumbs up. Or if you don't know what it is and you'd like to know, give me a thumbs up or support or something like that. So let's look up right now. What are the characteristics of coffee? If we had to look that up right now. So coffee has a few characteristics. One is its body, right? Another is its acidity. Another is its flavor. Another is aroma. So the body is how thick or heavy it feels on the palate during you're drinking it. Acidity, is it a pleasant tanginess when it first hits the palate, or is it really bad? Flavor, does it range from mild to rich? Which again, that can be subjective. And how's the aroma of the coffee, right? And there's something else we forgot, and that's the temperature of the coffee. That's a characteristic of the coffee. So when we think about you, let's say that you are, I'm going to just make something up. Let's say that you're a person that plays soccer, okay? So when we think about soccer, what are the characteristics, okay, of a soccer player? Let's think about that for a moment, okay? So, a couple things. You got a lot more. You got adaptability, you got competitiveness, you got hard working, you got confidence, mental toughness, disciplinedness, resilience, and willing to learn, right? But what might be your talent is the fact that there might be a lot of people playing soccer, but your mental talent might be the fact that you've got a stronger resilience than anybody else on the team. Or maybe you've got a greater adaptability. And because of that, the coach just pops you in all the time, right? So lots of things in life have characteristics, right? I want to think of something else right now that has a characteristic. Let's think of popcorn. All right, popcorn's an interesting one. So the characteristics of popcorn is going to be the consistency, right? The color, the temperature, right? Let's say the flavor. There's the flavor, and then there's the saltiness of the popcorn, right? And so when we think about popcorn, I don't know if you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's over 5,000 years old. You never know what you're going to learn here on Inspirations for You stream. The first commercial popcorn machine was actually invented by Charles Cretors in 1885. In fact, they still sell commercial popcorn machines. And Nebraska produces the most popcorn in America, around 250 million pounds per year. And microwave popcorn was invented by Pillsbury in 1982. Just some fun little facts for you guys. So in order to make popcorn, you can make it a couple ways. So you can make it by putting it in your microwave, which isn't the greatest way. You can also make it by using an air popper, which is the healthiest way. Doesn't have as much flavor as if you put like a tablespoon or two of oil in, let's say, like the little fry popcorn makers. And I know we had one, you'd put the tablespoon or two of oil. I remember it, got it for one of my birthdays. And you take the lid off and you put in whatever it is, the cup or two of we usually used Orville Redenbacher popcorn. And then you put the lid on and you plugged in. There was no switch. And you just waited. Maybe it took 5 minutes for that griddle to kind of heat up. And all of a sudden you see pop, 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 pop. And then you had to wait because at the end you had to make sure that you didn't do it too soon and you didn't wait too long because you'd burn the popcorn, right? So you wanted to wait till it just kind of stopped about once every like minute. If it would stop, like if you had like one kernel, like a pop every minute or maybe minute and a half, then it was time to unplug it and flip it, and you had all your popcorn. So the characteristic of that popcorn was it had a lot of rich flavor. Another characteristic of it is it had a lot of calories. So when you use an air popper, there are no calories in it because you're popping it with heat. When you pop with a oil popcorn maker, you're basically frying it, and what you're cooking the unpopped kernels, and then they pop open when they get enough heat, and then they're in that fry. And then if you're doing air pop, well, you're going to notice with the air pop is that a lot more popcorn doesn't pop in an air pop. I'm not sure if you knew that, but a lot of times when it was spinning around, it was kind of neat. Got it as another present because my folks thought it would be healthy to have air pop popcorn. We tried it. Nobody in the family really liked it, so I think we wound up giving that away, that machine. But you'd put it in. It was really cool looking, and you turn it on, and the heat would go, and usually within a minute or so, it would start popping. But what also happened is that you would get popcorn out of it that wasn't popped. In fact, we were getting a lot of popcorn out of it that it wasn't popped. In the air popper, I will tell you that we probably got not much, that was unpopped, right? So when we think about, let's say, a popcorn maker, because that's kind of where I'm going, right? And you guys all probably know. I'm gonna pull up here for you guys because when we talk about Creeders, Creeders is one of the most expensive popcorn makers. So I'm just going to show that to you here a second. Creeders is, you've probably seen these before. This is one I'm just going to show you here on the screen. And a Creeders popcorn maker actually is pretty interesting. Why? Because it has a lot. This is our characteristics of that. But if I go back to I'm going to go back to my popcorn maker list here that I have. And so I actually have a picture here of a popcorn maker right here on the screen. So let me just pull that up here. I'm going to go to my Chrome tab, and I'm going to pull up my popcorn maker, my Creeders 32-ounce popcorn maker. Here it is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody see the popcorn maker on the screen? So that popcorn maker is just under $7,000, okay? They have an automatic oil in there so that it automatically basically injects the oil, because if you put the popcorn, you don't have the oil, well, that could be a serious problem. But if we just look up for a quick second here, I'm going to type in air popcorn maker, just like so. And this is kind of similar to the one I had. Mine was actually white, but you get the idea. So when I click on this, and these things don't last very, very long. So you can kind of see how it is, right? How the popcorn goes in. So that is a characteristic of that popcorn maker. Now, another popcorn maker that I want to explain to you, which was it's the typical popcorn maker, and you can see it here on the screen. I'm just going to type, because we don't want the real big ones. We want the home popcorn maker. And so you've probably seen one that looks like this before, right? And you basically put the oil in it. At the bottom, you can see this. Now they got a little more advanced from when I had mine. They actually have something that spins around to kind of get the unpopped kernels. All right. So, and then there's a place you can put the butter. And again, this is the fry method, right? So these are just some other versions of the popcorn maker. And, Cuisinart makes them. Lots of people make them. So I wanted to show that to you. So why did I bring that to your attention? Well, I brought that to your attention because when we think about popcorn or we think about coffee or we think about us, they're characteristics, right? So if we can understand what characteristics are a talent, are a property of that machine. When you go buy a new car, you buy the car not so much for the features, you buy it for the benefits. So if there's a talent and you can impress upon a great benefit to someone, they're going to hire you for services. If it's a relationship and we don't really think it as benefits, but if they see that you're a good person, if they see that your character is good, they're going to want to date you, right? Now, the reason I bring this up tonight and what gift are you going to share with the world? A lot of people, just say, oh, gee, I don't know, or they copy somebody else. The problem with copying someone else is you're not unique. And then there's no reason for somebody to use you because you're doing just what other people are doing. Now, if we thought about a gift right now for tonight, one gift that you could give, a very unique gift that you could give, is patience. Maybe you're not patient all the time with people. So you could actually give a loved one, you could give them patience. That's the greatest gift you could give them. Maybe they're going through a hard time, just give them patience, give them understanding. That's a gift. That's a gift. But what I'm talking about, a gift that you'll share the world, it's a gift that you're going to share with everyone, right? But gifts that you give to like your family or loved ones or friends, they're important too. And they're all gifts. And they're all priceless. Okay. You can't put a price tag on them because you're the only one that can do that. So if somebody else, let's say, is giving them a hard time, but let's say you give them a hard time, well, they get a little more upset when you give them a hard time because they care about you. If it's a stranger, they don't quite care as much. Does that make sense? It's kind of like if you go to a store and, you ask them for help and they give you a hard time, you're not happy. But if you bring your wife or husband with you or your friend with you and they're like, oh, don't be an idiot. I mean, just get the cheaper one. And then you're kind of like annoyed at them, right? And at first it's kind of like this kind of banter back and forth, but then it's kind of like, shut up, right? And so the reason I want to talk about gifts so much is because if we can start to understand what our gifts are, we can also go back and be grateful for those gifts, right? We can be grateful for those gifts. And when you can appreciate a gift in your life, it's only then that other people will start to appreciate that exact same gift. I hope that made sense to all of you. I'd ask you to tag your friends, your colleagues, and your associates. And then if you got value, share it out to everyone you know here on social media. And if you really got value, go to youtube.com, type my name, John space E space Morley space serial entrepreneur. Look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. Below that, make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee by clicking on that PayPal link and donating. With every penny or dollar that we get for you, we'll be very grateful. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, and even new facilities and staff to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content available. If you have not already joined John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur, here on LinkedIn, what are you waiting for? Just go up to the top. You can just literally type in Serial. You'll see the word John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur pop up. You'll see the nice gold crest. And you can follow that. There's a lot of great stuff. We are hoping that we'll be able to stream LinkedIn in there soon. We are only a few more people away. You have to have so many people before they'll allow you to be able to stream, and then we can request that. Again, it is so great to be here with everybody. And people have been asking me, John, are you going to bring guests on to your Inspiration for You? Yes, probably in March. We'll start bringing some on, not every show. And again, this is going to be someone that's going to have a short part of our show, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It won't be very, very long like on my Tech Talk show. But the idea is to bring you guys value and to take situations that are in everyday real life that we all go through, but maybe we don't want to talk about. Maybe we don't want to think about it with our own name, but when somebody else does it, it's okay. And then we could talk about it because it's not us, right? That's kind of the common thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am so grateful to be with you this evening, as I am every single evening. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your night and a great morning. I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll be back with episode 4. And we'll keep asking and answering the question, What gift are you going to share with the world? And on Friday, we're going to sum everything up we talked about, and I'm going to give you a master gift that you can start using in your life and giving to everyone else. Have yourself a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Take care.